Hey, what's up everybody? Coach Kyle here, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for future content, look back at old videos, and if you find this video especially helpful, please share it. Today I want to go over a few tips about continuing good run training habits while traveling. And I've house sat, my wife and I have house sat over the last 3 summers in Panama City, Panama, Seattle, Washington, and Santiago in Chile. And one of the best things I can recommend to you for finding where to run would be to look for the parks. So in Seattle, there's Green Lake. I lived straight north of it. In Panama, there was Parque Omar. Thank God I lived about a half mile away from it. And in Santiago, there's the Mapacho River that runs through the city, and there's a huge bike path and various parks along the route. I believe in Panama and Santiago, they even closed down some major roadways, like on Sundays or something, for cyclists to take over. And this is, bike paths, the parks, waterfronts, along waterways. That is where most people run. So if you're traveling, you don't know where to go, Austin, Texas has Lady Bird Lake. So ask the hotel if you're at a hotel, but look for those locations for places to run. Chances are it's going to be safe because there will be other people out doing yoga, walking, cycling, running, etc. Also, general tips, you run with your phone. This was especially true in Santiago when, unlike Parque Omar in Panama, I did like 95% of my miles around 4K loop at Parque Omar. In Santiago, I was more free to roam around. It was a little better sidewalk, city, bike path, etc. So use your GPS, use Runkeeper or something. You can put your phone on airplane mode, not use data, and the GPS will still work. You can also download Google Maps onto your phone and access that without using data. So I use like a spy belt or a flip belt to carry my phone while running. Also, always have some form of ID with you. So every time I went out, I had my phone with me. And in my phone, there was a card in Spanish, just in case something were to happen to me, that tells people a little bit like where I'm at, like where my wife is at, contact information, etc., just in case something were to happen to me while out running. Also, tell, if you're with some people, or if you're solo, leave a note, but tell somebody where you're going. Just in case something were to happen, you have an ID on you and somebody knows where you're going. So if you're at a hotel or if you're at like a hostel or something, leave a note in your room, leave a note with the front desk, just say, hey, I'm gonna go here, just FYI. It's just always better to be safe than sorry. Other general tips, the Strava heat map is super helpful at finding routes again. It just shows where people run most in your area or in any area. Also, what else? Be very mindful of where you're at. I very rarely, like almost never, wore earphones while running abroad. Occasionally once I got more used to where I was at, because the benefit of house sitting is we're there for 2 to 4 weeks, I would be okay wearing earbuds. And I always if I wear earbuds, they're almost always just in one ear. So, and pretty much only for like hard, long runs to just kind of help with that. But be very mindful of your surroundings, both for safety reasons and for navigation, figuring out where you're at. One time in Santiago, I got totally lost because it was a super rainy, super foggy day, and I couldn't see the buildings, the skyscrapers where I was at, and I got a little lost. So there's that. Also, one of the best things that I did while traveling and running was run first thing in the morning, ASAP. Just get it over and done with. In Santiago especially, I would run right away in the morning, and then I would have a cup of coffee, and then I would run right away after my cup of coffee in the morning. And then I would work, do my run coaching until about noon or so. And then the entire rest of the day was, my wife and I were free to relax, go on a day trip, etc. So otherwise, you're going to be generally when traveling, you're walking, you're standing a lot, especially like in Santiago, we walked everywhere. Very rarely did we take Uber and even if we were to take the train, we would walk a good, 10 minutes to the train. It was almost a mile to the train station. So lots of walking. So get that run in before you're up and on your feet all day. It's just going to be easier that way and you'll be done with it. So if you have any other tips, suggestions on traveling and running, let me know below. Super helpful. People will search for this video, they'll find this video, and they'll find your comments below. So help other runners out. And as always, you keep running, I'll keep coaching.